The Feast of Jamál, Beauty. O Son of Man, veiled in my immemorial being and in the ancient eternity of my essence, I knew my love for thee. Therefore I created thee, have engraved on thee mine image and revealed to thee my beauty. Baha'u'llah. Say, from my laws the sweet-smelling savor of my garment can be smelled, and by their aid the standards of victory will be planted upon the highest peaks. The tongue of my power hath, from the heaven of my omnipotent glory, addressed to my creation these words: Observe my commandments for the love of my beauty. Happy is the lover that hath inhaled the divine fragrance of his best beloved from these words, laden with the perfume of a grace which no tongue can describe. By my life, he who hath drunk the choice wine of fairness from the hands of my bountiful favor will circle around my commandments that shine above the dayspring of my creation. Baha'u'llah. Consider how the Bab endured difficulties and tribulations, how he gave his life in the cause of God, how he was attracted to the love of the Blessed Beauty, Baha'u'llah, and how he announced the glad tidings of his manifestation. We must follow his heavenly example. We must be self-sacrificing and aglow with the fire of the love of God. We must partake of the bounty and grace of the Lord, for the Bab has admonished us to arise in service to the cause of God, to be absolutely severed from all else save God during the day of the blessed perfection, Baha'u'llah, to be completely attracted by the love of Baha'u'llah, to love all humanity for his sake, to be lenient and merciful to all for him, and to upbuild the oneness of the world of humanity. Abdul-Baha. The bounties of the blessed perfection are infinite. We must endeavor to increase our capacity daily, to strengthen and enlarge our capabilities for receiving them, to become as perfect mirrors. The more polished and clean the mirror, the more effulgent is its reflection of the lights of the sun of truth. Be like a well-cultivated garden wherein the roses and variegated flowers of heaven are growing in fragrance and beauty. It is my hope that your hearts may become as ready ground, carefully tilled and prepared, upon which the divine showers of the bounties of the blessed perfection may descend, and the zephyrs of this divine springtime may blow with quickening breath. Then will the garden of your hearts bring forth its flowers of delightful fragrance to refresh the nostril of the heavenly gardener. Let your hearts reflect the glories of the Sun of Truth in their many colors, to gladden the eye of the divine cultivator who has nourished them. Day by day become more closely attracted in order that the love of God may illumine all those with whom you come in contact. Be as one spirit, one soul, leaves of one tree, flowers of one garden, waves of one ocean. Abdul-Baha. O my servants, it behooveth you to refresh and revive your souls through the gracious favors which, in this divine, this soul-stirring springtime, are being showered upon you. The day star of his great glory hath shed its radiance upon you, and the clouds of his limitless grace have overshadowed you. How high the reward of him that hath not deprived himself of so great a bounty, nor failed to recognize the beauty of his best beloved in this, his new attire. Say, O people, the lamp of God is burning. Take heed, lest the fierce winds of your disobedience extinguish its light. Now is the time to arise and magnify the Lord your God. Strive not after bodily comforts, and keep your heart pure and stainless. The evil one is lying in wait, ready to entrap you. Gird yourselves against his wicked devices, and led by the light of the name of the one true God, deliver yourselves from the darkness that surroundeth you. Center your thoughts in the well-beloved, rather than in your own selves. Baha'u'llah. O Son of Man, rejoice in the gladness of thine heart, that thou mayest be worthy to meet me and to mirror forth my beauty. Baha'u'llah. The season of spring, with its hosts of freshness and beauty, spreads its tent on the plains and mountains with great pomp and magnificence. A second time, the form of the creatures is renewed, and the creation of beings begins afresh. Bodies grow and develop. The plains and wilderness become green and fertile. Trees bring forth blossoms, and the spring of last year returns in the utmost fullness and glory. Such is, and such ought to be, the cycle and succession of existence. Such is the cycle and revolution of the material world. It is the same with the spiritual cycles of the prophets. That is to say, the day of the appearance of the holy manifestations is the spiritual springtime. It is the divine splendor. It is the heavenly bounty, the breeze of life, the rising of the sun of reality. Spirits are quickened, hearts are refreshed and invigorated, souls become good. Existence is set in motion, human realities are gladdened, and grow and develop in good qualities and perfections. General progress is achieved and revival takes place, for it is the day of resurrection, the time of excitement and ferment, and the season of bliss, of joy, and of intense rapture. Abdul Baha.
They that have hearts to understand, they that have quaffed the wine of love, who have not for one moment gratified their selfish desires, will behold resplendent as the sun in its noontide glory those tokens, testimonies, and evidences that attest the truth of this wondrous revelation, this transcendent and divine faith. Reflect how the people have rejected the beauty of God and have clung unto their covetous desires. Notwithstanding all these consummate verses, these unmistakable allusions, which have been revealed in the most weighty revelation, the trust of God amongst men, and despite these evident traditions, each more manifest than the most explicit utterance, the people have ignored and repudiated their truth, and have held fast to the letter of certain traditions which, according to their understanding, they have found inconsistent with their expectations, and the meaning of which they have failed to grasp. They have thus shattered every hope, and deprived themselves of the pure wine of the all-glorious, and the clear and incorruptible waters of the immortal beauty. Say, O people, praise ye God for its manifestation, for verily it is the most great favor upon you, and the most perfect blessing upon you. And through him every moldering bone is quickened. Whosoever turns to him hath surely turned unto God, and whosoever turneth away from him hath turned away from my beauty. Denied my proof, and is of those who transgress. Verily he is the remembrance of God amongst you, and his trust within you, and his manifestation unto you, and his appearance among the servants who are nigh. Thus have I commanded to convey to you the message of God, your Creator. And I have delivered to you that which I was commanded. Whereupon thereunto testifieth God, then his angels, then his messengers, and then his holy servants. Inhale the fragrances of the Rizvan from his roses, and be not of those who are deprived. Appreciate the bounty of God upon you, and be not veiled therefrom. And verily, we have sent him forth in the temple of man. Thus praise ye the Lord, the originator of whatsoever he willeth through his wise and inviolable command.